Kevin? Kevin, you
Oh
here with
shit.
Kevin? Oh, hey.
Wait, are we streaming right now?
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it live. We're live.
All right. Oh man. Sorry. I was not doing school because no one is anymore. If you guys haven't seen, people used to cheat, okay? I keep talking about this, but it has gotten out of hand. I was skiing this weekend and I heard from some buddies that this new tool, Einstein AI, literally logs into Blackboard or Canvas or wherever you're doing homework and taking these quizzes. It literally logs in and then does it for you. Okay. It operates on its own virtual computer. So think of Claudebot, but specially built for students. It'll watch lecture videos, navigate class pages, read PDFs, essays, write papers, complete quizzes, post replies and discussion boards. So literally, it will do everything you need as a student. This is ridiculous. So school is cooked. School is absolutely cooked.
Yeah.
Um,
And meanwhile, more expensive than ever.
yeah.
Pay
So
money and don't learn anything. Well, I think you're, there was something, I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this seems hard to believe, but there's this chart that shows like IQ by generation. And it's
oh
basically
god.
like IQ has, over the last 3 or 4 generations, it has slightly expanded. Like average intelligence is actually going up. Which kind of makes sense. I think it's like if you as a 30-year-old have a conversation with somebody with a 30-year-old in like 1950, like the tools available to us are like the way that we were taught, the way we learned, just having access to computers and like all these things. I think like you could argue for sure, probably by 2010, a 30-year-old was smarter than a 30-year-old back in 1910. Gen
Mm,
Z is the first generation to regress
are
in like
you
5
serious?
generations on IQ, allegedly.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. So this is why IQ trends are going down, by the way, because I just use ChatGPT for everything.
Right.
Let's go. Watching
What's
from
up,
the
Eduardo,
job,
Dennis?
getting paid for tuning in. IQ test scores did go up significantly over the 20th century, but the story is more complicated. Researchers discovered the average IQ test scores rose steadily across generations throughout the 1900s, the Flynn Effect, 2 to 3 IQ points per decade. That's
Whoa,
pretty good. In
that's pretty
multiple
good.
countries, researchers now find that IQ gains have slowed, stopped, or even reversed over the last decades. Reverse Flynn effect, especially among younger generations in places like US and parts of Europe. Gen Z's average score on cognitive tests may be lower than previous generations in some areas. Bro, that's ridiculous.
All the computer time is finally that makes sense. It's like everything. Like you can have, I don't know if this is like the causation or whatever, but just brainstorming here. It's like I definitely buy if you are somewhat online, depending on what you're looking at online, if you're doing like math puzzles or something, or you're doing like mini crosswords and wordles all day long, that's probably helping your IQ to some extent. If you're just like doom scrolling TikToks all day long, 17-hour screen time, you throw enough of those people in the mix, even if it's only like 10% of Gen Z, and it's going to drag the scores down for everybody. So
Right.
I get it.
I would want to see how much COVID affected this. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone's IQ went down a little bit during COVID because literally everyone got brain rot. Now you might be asking if you're like me and you're a Gen Zer and you can hardly pour your own milk in your cereal, what is IQ? Well, everyone says it. No one actually knows what it means. Chris, do you have a good definition for us or should I read this AI overview?
The way I like to think about IQ is it's an intelligent quotient, right? Everybody knows that. So this is a test that's going to measure your cognitive abilities, and these are going to be things like pattern recognition, problem solving, logic. See, if you read something, you just have to read the list backwards, so it doesn't look like you're just reading it word for word. That's
Nice.
the key. But yeah, what is IQ? Nobody even knows.
Yeah. So Everyone says it means you're smart, but let's ask here. This is what I like to do with ChatGPT. Explain IQ to me like I'm 5. Okay. And then this will give us your brain's a toolbox. Some kids have tools that help them solve puzzles, notice patterns, figure out stuff quickly. IQ is the number that tries to measure how good your toolbox is. Okay. Yeah, the IQ tests are funny. We should take them live on stream. I like how all the IQ tests is like square, triangle, circle, square, triangle, which one comes next? And it's like, if you can solve this, you can be an AI researcher. Like
Right.
these tests are funny. But
we should
anyways,
go through GPT, Grok, Claude, Perplexity, go down all the big models and ask them, if you were a human, what is your IQ? What would your IQ be as ChatGPT?
And they should. I want to ask, let's see if guess my IQ based on what I've said. Please don't be 80. Please don't be 80. Okay. Yeah. No, it's not gonna. It doesn't want to get canceled. I'm sure Grok would tell me. Okay. So this is insane. It's definitely because of screen time. I also think it's funny that I think it would have been better to be born before people studied cigarettes. Like if you just smoked a million cigarettes a day and it's before people realized that they were bad, that is legitimately better than the era that we are in now of 8 hours of screen time per day before people, obviously everyone knows it's bad, but we're going to look back in 50 years once the OpenAI butt plug is released with Joni Ive.
Oh, it's out. I've got it.
It's
Happy
less
Monday.
intrusive. And yeah, I think one reason that IQ is going down is because nobody has to think for yourself anymore. Do not think for yourself. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Exactly. We're going to tell you exactly what to do. The goal of this show is to lower the average IQ. Bring it down. Bring it down. Ignorance is bliss.
So this is good. So ChatGPT, so I think we should ask it this, because Claude or Grok got cocky, and it's a very funny response. They actually gave a real answer to this. What's your IQ? If you were a human, what would your IQ be? If I were squeezed into a human body tomorrow with roughly the same reasoning abilities I have now, I'd land somewhere in the 145 to 165 range. But then it breaks it down, like on pattern recognition, stupidly good. So funny. Verbal comprehension, vocabulary, top 0.1% of humans. Working memory is a little bit lower. Processing speed starts to get dumber. So they're putting it at a 155 on a good day.
Dude, this is like someone in your high school who plays tennis. That's exactly what that response sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay, my theory is that there's so much content out there that with IQ, you don't really have to recognize any patterns. You don't really have to think. All you have to do is, where should I go to dinner? Let me go on TikTok. Best dinner in Chicago when you're traveling. And then you just, from here, the only pattern you have to notice is what your friends are doing on Instagram and just try to mirror them as close as possible. Okay, so the best thing you can do is see, okay, everyone's running a marathon. I need to run a marathon. Everyone's going to New York. I need to go to New York. That's all you need to do. Copy, and then you'll get rich somehow. So
exactly.
I don't think IQ is needed anymore.
The good thing about just scrolling content all day long and giving up on trying to improve your IQ is that you have some funny ways that being terminally online can spill over into the real world. This was one of my favorite from the last week. These guys pretended to kidnap their buddy who's getting married, and at the airport, they transported him off the plane like he was Maduro, and they made him wear like a Maduro mask, and they all dressed up as DEA agents. Genius.
Oh my God.
So good.
Yeah. I mean, the internet has done, that's insane. The internet has done a lot, especially in movies. I feel like the two examples that come to mind are the Minions movie and the Minecraft movie. Did you see either of those?
I've seen Minions a bunch, have not seen Minecraft.
Was there possibly a group of 14 to 17-year-olds who showed up in suits to the Minion movie.
So good.
This was another thing.
Wait, they got banned? Is that what I saw? One of the
Yeah, theaters started banning people in suits from showing up to the theaters.
Why? This is why movie theaters are dead on arrival now. Is like it's a place to be entertained and have fun, assuming that they're all just dressing in costume. Like I remember this is probably whenever the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie came out. I went and saw it in a theater, and a couple people had dressed up like Captain Jack Sparrow or whatever. By the second movie that came out, I think this was like 2006, maybe. The entire theater was like dressed as Pirates of the Caribbean characters, and it was awesome.
Right.
Like, this is like a real experience. Like, if you're gonna have to pay $25 for a ticket and then buy a $36 popcorn, like you should be able to dress however you want. Gentleminions. So good.
And it's because there was yeet in here. And then the Minecraft movie was, dude, the Minecraft movie, I think, changed. Has there ever been a movie where people like knew lines going in? Because before that wasn't possible, obviously.
Right.
But then when these like clips come out and then it adds another layer onto this movie, you already feel like you're connected to all the people in this theater when you're watching. Like, you know, we're all here. No one's on their phone. We're locked in. Sometimes people cry. You know, people are hitting vapes, eating popcorn, and then it takes it to a new level once there's an interactive element to it.
100%. I think it'd be funny if, like, based off of some famous like books, if the movie is just iconic, like if you have this line that's like Bond, James Bond, in the new movies, they should just fuck with everybody and be like, Bond is the name, hey? And everybody's like, no, that's not what he says. That's not what the guy says. And then just like all the fans are just super pissed because they just screw up like all these classic one-liners.
Right. Did you see the 4 top downloaded free apps recently?
I did, but pull it up.
So I pray that this is real, but there is no way.
I think it is.
That Dick's Sporting Goods, I mean, unless it's like you can filter by 1 hour, but the 4 horsemen being Claude, ChatGPT, Dick's, and Google Gemini. So let's see if, Dick's application. Yeah, no, we don't want that. Let's see.
I don't think that there's any way, because what did it show? That was Justine's. It was top downloaded free apps. Is that right?
Yep.
So I don't know, because I've got Claude, ChatGPT, Google Gemini as the 1, 2, 3, but then Dick's on here is number 61.
And can you filter by day?
I'm sure. I know you can with like software. I mean, it is kind like, it's very possible that they did like a flash sale or something where it's like, oh, if you have the app, you can claim this thing.
Here's a tweet. Download Dick's Sporting Goods and sync your health or Apple Watch with it. You get points every day if you do these things. This did pretty well. I'm sure there were a couple others like these. So people were like, oh shit, you can get paid essentially by working out.
I mean, it is pretty crazy that, like, so Dick's Sporting Goods today, the reason that I believe maybe it fell briefly into the top 3, like Dick's for reference is, we're going to have to like bleep this out on YouTube, right? Like, for references, above, I mean, it's like way above Expedia, it's way above Starbucks, it's way above Yelp, it's way above LinkedIn, it's above Google Sheets app, like it's above Target, it's above Taco Bell. There's a lot of like, it's above like Facebook Messenger, the Bible app, Zillow, Google Drive. So it's above enough of these that it's like, all right, they're in the conversation as of recently, and maybe they had a fall to number 61 or whatever.
Did you? I mean, this is interesting because gym people, they're the best and worst people you know. You know, everyone should be a gym person. Monitor your health. And this is like, you earn 3 cents for every mile you run. So obviously people are going to download this. I mean, I want to download this right now. You know, this is now I feel even better. Now I can not only post my Strava screenshot on my Instagram story, get hella likes, potentially find a mate, but I can also earn Dick's Sporting Goods gift card points and go get a new pair of J's, you know, after I run.
So it's 3 cents per mile. And so if a new what's a pair of Jordans running? $160?
Yeah, let's say 160.
I mean, you would need to run like 512 marathons to win a pair of shoes.
Dude, that's light. 160, 3 cents a mile, 5,333 miles.
Divided by 26.
200 marathons to get a pair of Jordans from the Dick's Sporting Goods app.
It's not bad.
No, that ain't. That's cool. Incentivizing people to work out with gift cards. I mean, I'm sure. Did you have a Sports Authority around you?
Yeah, we did.
I think, are they bankrupt?
I haven't seen one in forever.
What's the deal? Oh man. Yo. Someone play the world's smallest violin.
Uh-oh.
While I share this tab.
Hmm.
$1 billion in debt.
They were a good old Colorado company. They once had a footprint across 45 states and Puerto Rico. That's crazy.
What are some other of these? Aren't there like a million of these sports stores? Sports, like what are like the brick and mortar sports? There's a Big Five.
Sports Basement.
Oh,
Play It Again. That's like the used sporting one. I think it's been a long time. Like I think in college I went to a Play It Again Sports. Maybe I've been to one since, but I'm surprised that the Play It Again Sports places aren't more popular. Just in the sense that like, you know, you have the kids sports stuff, which is, you know, your kid plays like 5-year-old T-ball for 1 year and then they need a bigger bat and you spent like $100 on this bat that now is like useless. So you sell it to Play It Again Sports for $20 and they flip it for 40. But you're getting this like lightly used bat for 60% off.
Yeah.
And then like golf clubs are crazy. You buy a new set of clubs, it's like $2,000. You use them for a couple of years. You want new ones. You go sell them for like $200 on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Like buying used sporting equipment, if it's the right stuff, is like a great play.
Absolutely. Sports Basement is a classic. But only real ones know this. If you didn't own one of these, this is probably worth $10 million now. These were the best and worst water bottles of all time, and likely the only thing that kept Sports Authority afloat. They'd get yellow in about 2 hours of use.
You'd bring them outside for a practice, and they would just immediately yellow.
Oh man!
All right, so I saw this. This was pretty interesting. The post was, what do Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Tom Brady, and Jared Kushner all have in common? They all own homes on a man-made island for the 0.01% Indian Creek Island. It's 300 acres. They have their own private police, guarded bridge. The country club alone charges a $500,000 initiation fee. So 2 of the 5 richest people on the planet own homes here. Here's the breakdown of this island. It's pretty insane.
Wait, Indian Creek, where is it? Florida?
Indian Creek Island. It's just outside of Miami. So if you go, you know, if you kind of go counterclockwise, you'll see, you know, like Jeff Bezos here. You've got Ed Lampert, you know, one of the great financiers. You've got Zuck and Priscilla. You've got all these people. Carly Khan, you know, worth 11 or 15 billion. The craziest thing on this to me, and then you've got Tom Brady, one of the greatest athletes of all time. The craziest thing is that David Guetta is on this island. Is that insane?
Yeah.
Like, for whatever these houses must cost, $100 million each, the fact that like it's like one of these guys is not like the other, and it is 100% David Guetta.
That is insane. In 2020, whoa. In 2021, David Guetta sold his catalog to Warner Music for about $100 million. And then apparently he was making $25 to $30 million when he was touring. That is insane.
That is insane.
How much are these? Okay, wait. Are those all golf courses?
Yeah, in the middle. It's like one, I think it's like one 9-hole course in the middle. And then all the, whatever it is, the 30 houses are built around it on the water.
And there's a bridge.
There's a bridge, like a single bridge that is gated. All right, this is how you know that there is absolutely no motion here, because there's not a single house for sale on Indian Creek Island. So if you're broke, like your best bet is to buy this $8 million house, and you can stare at Indian Creek Island from across Biscayne Bay.
Here we go. Let me hop on the sticks here, because I'm getting deep.
Okay, let's go.
Sure, there's nothing for sale. Let's see what's sold. Okay. And can we cross-reference whose house is who? So I think this was Zuck, if I had it right.
The one right by the bridge was Jared Kushner. That one's Kushner, I think.
This is Kushner?
Yeah.
And the place is nice if they don't have any... Bro, okay. Enough with the golf, dude. This is ridiculous. The whole place is just a bunker. Like, it looks like shit. Okay? What do you do? Sit in your house all day? Don't you want some, like, more fun stuff outside? Sorry. Golf guys.
Also, I mean, the thing about David Guetta's house and like Jared Kushner, friend of the show's house, is I wouldn't want to look like, if you go back, like if you look at that $64 million house you were just looking at, they just look across a small channel out to the pores. You don't want that. Like, seriously.
Wait,
why would I want to sit in my $65 million house and look at some piece of shit $10 million house across a small channel? Not good. Don't.
Also, there must be a private gate here, right?
Yeah,
but
I think so.
Here's what we need to figure out. 395K. Whoever this is has some dirt on somebody.
That's like an incorrect pin that's supposed to be on like Miami Beach.
Yeah. Indian Creek 202. There's no way.
No, because there's no, you can see there's no like skyscrapers or whatever.
They're scamming.
Yep.
Well, damn. That's crazy.
All right. So check out, go up to that $113 million house, I think is Jeff Bezos's.
Let's see here.
On the left side of the island.
Do you think they just have like a staff of 20 people?
That one. Wait, so wait. Dude. So this $100 million house was a lot.
Really?
It was purchased as a lot, is what it says.
Oh yeah.
105 million for 1.84 acres, and there's no house in those photos.
That was 100 million, bro. I seriously don't understand. Like, why? This doesn't even look it doesn't look nice.
That is insane. If anybody, Marianne Shula, Rakesh Gangwal, Carly Khan, Ed Lampert, Jeff Bezos, if anybody listening to this, all these guys listen to this. If any of us, if we can come out and do the pod from your house, just so we can get a sense, we can give the listeners a sense of what a $300 million golf course home in Miami looks like. DMs are open.
This is actually insane. Here, can we see the broker who sold this piece of grass for $100 million and probably made $5 million on it?
Yeah, right there. Ilya Resnick. So the commission, I mean, usually it would get negotiated.
Oh shit, he's
down.
at Shopify now. Russian poet and songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this guy might be the GOAT.
Yeah.
Oh, we're blowing up on Instagram. Wow. That's unreal. I mean, I need to go to Florida. Everyone is moving to either New York or Florida, and I'm just getting left behind.
Yeah, it's I haven't been in a long time. I need to take a trip out there.
And so, do you know why, like, there's no income tax in Florida, right?
Right.
And then, so what else is making people move there? Because there's no income tax. And then you think about, okay, maybe is it the only place that doesn't have income tax and on the beach? Is that what it is?
No, because I mean, Texas has no state income tax, and you have the whole like Gulf Coast. I mean, it's definitely, I don't think you can compare the Gulf Coast of Texas to Indian Creek, Florida, but I mean, I think it's you know, it's a lot of factors. You've got the weather, desirable.
Yeah, Texas, nice, but no beach. Florida is pretty nice. Tennessee, Nevada, let's go. Go Washington. We're holding it down out here, but the weather is only nice like maybe 4 months out of the year. South Dakota is where everyone is moving. I think it got overpopulated. Wyoming, that's the horses took it over. Why are no billionaires going to Alaska? People need to team up and buy an iceberg in Alaska and then New Hampshire.
Let's figure out, let's say you have like a big billionaire budget in Alaska. Let's see what type of house you're buying. Let me find this.
What can you get with $100 million in Alaska?
You can buy the whole thing for sure.
Okay, so Florida also has no estate tax and no inheritance tax. So it's like the best place to die, which I think a lot of these people are probably thinking about.
Let's see if I can find, okay, this is not going well. I am currently trying to find, oh, okay. This is fascinating. So according to Zillow, what would you guess is the most expensive house in the state of Alaska right now?
I'd guess the most expensive house in Alaska is on the market for $22 million.
You're, I mean, relatively close. The most expensive house in the state of Alaska, I'll put it this way. There's only 2 houses in the state of Alaska, according to Zillow, on the market for over 5 million.
What?
Correct. The most expensive is 9.8 million. The second most expensive is 6.7 million. And oh boy, I think if you're buying this $9.8 million house, you are overpaying relative to the $6.7 million house. Is this nuts? Like,
wait, there's 2 houses in all of Alaska that are on sale for over 5 million.
Yeah, and then if you drop it to like 3, you get a few more, but not many more. So let's look at these. Let's take a look at the most expensive house in Alaska.
The most expensive.
I have been to Alaska many times, and I'm actually, this is per Kevin's question, I've been many times, and I'm going again in a year. Have you been?
I went to Alaska on a cruise with one of my best friends, went fishing. I got the 15 drink per day package.
Nice.
Cruise was an absolute, I mean, it was fun, but it was also a nightmare. I need to go back to Alaska when I'm not surrounded by dying people on a boat where everyone is coughing.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that so this looks like this is basically a giant piece of land with its own, it's like a fishing lodge. It's a commercial property for under 10 million. You could have this and also like a $10 million house in Hawaii, and also a $10 million house in San Francisco, and also a $10 million house in LA, and also a $10 million house in Miami, and also a $10 million house in Fiji, and you would still be saving like $100 million off of having one house in Indian Creek.
I've been actually going back and forth and I've been asking my friends. I was like, if you have $10 million to spend however you want on houses and property, how would you spend it? And some people are like, oh, I'd get like 5 different condos around the world. Or some people go, oh, I want one $8 million house, one $2 million house. And I don't know what I would go for.
I like that these people seem to have just taken their own pictures. Like,
yeah,
of
definitely.
a shuffleboard table with a bookshelf in the background. Yeah. I think it definitely depends on where you primarily live is important in that equation. And, you know, are you dating somebody? Are you single? Are you married? If you're married, do you have kids? How old are the kids? Whatever. Because I think it's very ideal to say, oh, we're going to like travel the world. And then it's like, well, then you have to homeschool your kids, which is fine. But then that's like a factor, or you have to be like rich enough to like have like a private tutor that like travels with you. But I
I
think
was going to say with homeschooling, like maybe now it's just alpha school, but now I'm actually thinking that maybe the whole purpose of school is literally only the social aspect, which people have been talking about for a little bit, where it's like, oh, college, is actually a lot about just like working with different people, and same with high school. And I think now it's just like literally pay just to hang out with people is what the primary function of school is.
Yeah, I think so. That's an important, the getting tiny humans around other tiny humans, and then having that go to at least the age of like 18, I think is a net good thing.
Yeah, because you need to run into dicks, bullies. You need to figure out who's cool, why you think people are cool. You need to get, scratched in the face. Someone needs to cheat in Gaga Ball, and you need to call them out. That's where morals and ethics come into question.
Yeah.
Speaking of morals and ethics, last stream we talked, I asked you, I said, if you ran a coffee shop, how would you lay it out? Would you let people just sit in there and not buy anything for 12 hours a day? Now we are officially in the security state. I saw this Y Combinator launch and it reminded me a lot of our conversation, and also of the Ring doorbell Find My Dog.
Yeah.
So this company, you can integrate it with any existing security cameras that you have in stores. And it's pretty much an AI vision layer on top of your cameras. But the cool thing is, so it'll be like, hey, this guy's like stealing something. But then it gets crazy because the video stops loading halfway through. Okay. And you can go back. Okay. Malls. Now, here's where it's cool. Repeat offenders. It'll tell you, like, you can get alerts on stores can work with each other. So if you have your store and I have my store, it's like, yo, this dude stole from me. If he steals from you, I get an alert when he comes in here. Like, yo, this guy stole from Chris's store. Like, don't let him steal anything. And so now you have this ultimate security state where, it's like how you mentioned the dating apps where now everything is tracked. And if you get a bad review on a date, it's turning into that with everything. It's like, yo, this guy did something super embarrassing. So
this is super interesting. And also, I don't think one of the worst feelings in the world, it's happened to me a lot recently for whatever reason, is I'll like go into a store by myself. This just happened at a bookstore. Like my car, I was getting like an oil change in my car, and it was going to be like an hour. And there was this like cool little like bookstore that was like a 6-block walk from like the mechanic. So I was just like, all right, I'll just like walk over there. I don't have my car. And so I like walk into this bookstore, and I fully intended going in there, and it was like a small, like independently owned bookstore. And I had all the intention in the world of like sort of browsing for books and then picking out maybe one or two, supporting them. And so I'm like the only guy in this store. It's like early, like last Friday morning. I'm walking around. There's like 3 people working. They're all sort of like looking at me and asking if they can help. I'm like, no, I'm good. And then the mechanic like texts me. I'm in there for like 10 minutes. I haven't even really dug into any books. He's like, oh, yo, your car's ready. And I was like, well, I'm not going to just keep shopping. Like the only reason that I'm here shopping is because I'm just killing time to get like an oil change.
Right.
So then I just like walked out of the store and I was like, okay, thanks. That moment when you've done nothing wrong, but it's like, dude, they probably think that I was just like in there shoplifting because I'm just walking around by myself for 10 minutes.
Right.
I don't buy anything. And they keep being like, oh, can I help you? No, I'm good. No. They're like for sure checking the cameras as soon as I leave.
Right.
But it's like you feel bad going into a store and like walk, especially if it's like Target or they have like a security guy. If you buy nothing, that like feeling of guilt of like, oh man, he's gonna like ask me a question.
Also, yeah, it's like, how do you get out if you don't buy anything? It's like, do you just walk through the self-checkout section and straight out the door? Because that's suspicious.
I think you run as fast as possible.
The worst feeling is, and I've done this a couple times, is when you accidentally walk out of Walmart with 4 flat screen TVs without paying. Dude, that is the worst. Like,
I hate when I accidentally do that.
Dude.
Yeah. Or if you're doing like a test drive at a dealership, like I went to a Mercedes dealership and I did a test drive with a car. And then I totally forgot to bring the car back for 3 months. I hate that. It's like, no. I was on my way to bring this car back.
And then people think you're trying to do something suspicious when you grab, all the laundry detergent and 4 ice creams. Also, this was insane. It tells you if someone falls.
Yeah, okay. This by the way, go back. Let's watch this because this is important.
Let's watch the fall in real time.
Let's watch the fall. Yeah. Okay. Did you see the moment? We need to replay it one more time. There's a moment where she steps in the puddle. The puddle's like 4 inches deep. Like it fully splashes up. Like when she steps in this puddle, the splash effect goes up like well past her ankles. It's like, what is possibly on this floor? Look at that.
Oh, it's super AI.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't know, are they saying that they can prevent like insurance fraud, or it's just going to notify somebody that someone fell?
This feels like this feels like lawsuit land for sure.
Yeah.
And also this is like one of the best points of this video, which is like seeing shoplifters and stopping shoplifters, 2 totally different things. I was at Target with one of our kids like a year ago, and we were walking and they have like the double doors, and we're walking in this random Target a few towns down. And I actually did notice on the way in, I was like, it was kind of weird because there were like, I think it was definitely 4, but there might have even been like 6. It was all men and women. They didn't actually look that suspicious. It was just like, what was suspicious was they were all just like looking down, not talking to each other, kind of loitering outside of the Target. And so we're like, I'm walking in with my son, these 2 women actually like pushing carts out. And all of a sudden it's like badges out, cuffs are out. They throw these 2 women on the ground. So like clearly it was like a sting operation. They were like serial shoplifters. They had like full carts of shit. They're like trying to get out the entrance, and all these like undercover cops were just like watching for them. And it happened like right as we were walking in on like the exit. These 2 women were like trying to come out. And so I thought that was pretty epic.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I like the vigilante videos of people stopping other people in grocery stores.
Tristan.
Hey, what's up, Tristan? Yeah. Also, this was the biggest grocery store controversy, I think, of all time. Do you remember this?
No, let's dive into it.
Okay, so this was 6 years ago. It was all over the news, and I think it changed ice cream packaging forever. Okay, guys, this is going to be a trigger warning. I don't usually do trigger warnings, but opens the top, licks the ice cream, and puts it back. So this is worse than shoplifting.
That is for sure worse than shoplifting. Dude, she probably started COVID. This is 6 years ago. That's how COVID started. We're watching it in real time.
Ice cream cold case. Viral lick could land teen behind bars.
I think we talked about this. We need a moment that happened around COVID that we can start referring to, like, oh, like before COVID, I had this bad haircut, or oh, before COVID, I used to do this or whatever. It's like before the Bluebell ice cream liquor, I had this weird haircut, and people would be like, what? It's exactly 6 years ago. It's perfect.
Dude, this is so funny. And then, yeah, so that changed sometimes it takes an event like this and they need to be tracking for this in the new security cameras. So
This is the only show, by the way, the only fake show where we can be like doing an actual breakdown on a billionaire's Zestimate, and 25 seconds later, we're looking at a video of a viral ice cream licker who gets arrested and gets behind bars. This is why Raised and Confused, and I'm biased, is the
and she's
greatest
now
show
the
on the internet.
founder.
So good.
Yeah. So it's unreal. I mean, you think about crime, if crime is going to go up or down. What can you tell me about flock safety? Because I see flock all over, and then like flock and Verkada, like these public security cameras. Do you know anything about these?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Flock. I mean, it's like you have. I think it's been in the news. I think from the like Nancy Guthrie case, right, in Arizona, where this woman gets like kidnapped. She's been kidnapped allegedly for a month. There were a number of neighbors who were like just coming out and saying, all right, I might have like Ring doorbell footage that can like track this car or whatever. I think, there's this balance of surveillance state, and I've sort of come around to it, which is like flock safety. My understanding is that they're setting up all these like cameras on all these like intersections, small intersections and large ones. We actually have a bunch in my neighborhood, and I had to like sit for a second and like think about how I felt about these. And I'm like very pro flock safety now, because it's like they're not issuing like speeding tickets is my understanding. But it's like anytime anybody drives on the street leading up to my house, they're on a flock safety camera. They're actually on like 6 coming in like downtown or from like the nearest highway. So I kind of like that. It's like, all right, if we're not going to have, if you're not going to like live in a gated neighborhood and you're not going to live in like some high rise that has security, just like being able to say, hey, this crazy thing happened, whether it's a break-in, kidnapping, vandalism, high speed pursuit, somebody traveled on this road. Let's figure out by their license plate exactly when they were here. And it's kind of this like lightly intrusive thing that like, as long as you're not doing anything crazy, you're going to be fine.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I like how they have a picture of a police officer just watching YouTube.
Yeah, he's watching Raised and Confused.
Transforms law enforcement so police people can just scroll. No, I mean, I think I agree.
There was an interesting company that got a bunch of funding. Let me see if I can find this. I think it was
so they for stolen vehicles, a drone as first responder receives the 911 call, and then before the call is dispatched, it deploys a drone to go find the car.
This is cool. Okay. So it's like there's a company that's doing this for like houses. Have you ever heard of this company Sauron? I think they poach some flock safety people.
Is it actually Sauron, like after Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All these startups are, right? Sauron, the high-end home security startup for super premium customers, plucks a new CEO out of Sonos. So Kevin Hartz, who's a billionaire, when his security system failed to alert him as an intruder rang his doorbell and tried to enter his San Francisco home, the serial entrepreneur decided existing solutions weren't good enough. His co-founder, Jack Abraham, had experienced similar frustrations at his Miami Beach residence. So 2 years ago, they launched Sauron. They had raised $24 million from executives behind Flock Safety and Palantir, defense tech investors, including 8VC. I think this is super interesting because it's now like we eventually all get what the wealthiest people in the world have, if that makes sense. So like growing up in, suburban Colorado, nobody that I knew of had a home security system. And certainly people didn't have like cameras outside of their houses. We didn't have cameras on the streets. And then, at some point, in college, I moved to LA, and you see these houses in like Malibu or whatever that have like one camera like above their door, and it like looks like an industrial grade camera. And you sort of like check out their house, and you're like, oh, there's actually a couple more. But like these security systems in 20 years ago are like $100,000 to install. And now it's like anybody, whether you live in a tiny apartment or like a mega mansion, you can just add a Ring doorbell to your house for like $200 if you want it, and at least see like who's at your front door. And so I think this is interesting because it's like, there was an article, I don't know how much they get into it, but basically it's like we're gonna have a product where like you have like loudspeakers, flashing lights, drones that are gonna like pepper spray people like all on your house. And it's just like as soon as something happens, like like 911 gets called or whatever. It's gonna be interesting.
Wait. There's actually drones that are going to pepper spray people.
I mean, I don't know.
Or what are these
I'm
guys
here
doing?
to this is a brainstorming situation for the executive team at Sauron.
So what do you know what the Sauron team actually does? Like they have some cracked people and they had this problem.
Let's take a look. Let's go to
Sauron security. Okay, here. So, oh, you got it. Yep, that site. The most trusted and effective home security. All in one.
I mean, deters like a gun is a threat deterrent. A baseball bat with barbed wire on the end of it is a threat deterrent.
So here we go. We have military grade technology identifies and deters crime. They're still not saying how they deter it.
Always on. Yeah, this feels like this is one of these things, by the way, that I love about startups is like you often can tell more about what the company is working on by looking at their open roles than what the site actually tells you. Right? So it's like, all right.
It's like engineer. How can we attach a spear to a drone?
Exactly. Okay, so this is a security operations specialist at Sauron. By the way, bringing the innovations of autonomous robots and self-driving cars to residential security. Like, you knock on my door, I'm driving a Waymo over your ass. It's going to dispatch from my garage. Yeah,
this is so epic.
Luxury, consumer, interesting. I don't know.
I mean, at what point does every person have like a robot dog, a drone, or a humanoid following them around at all times, not only to like help them with shit, but mostly for self-defense? Like, what if I just walk around with a drone hovering over me at any point? I'm like, yeah, like you can try to punch me, but this thing has like a taser and a gun on it.
There was like a quip that Elon made when he was talking about their like Optimus robots that seemed ridiculous at the time. It still does, but maybe, you never know. Maybe it'll be a thing where he's like, once Optimus, like, 20 years in the future, we're like making more Optimus robots than we are Tesla cars because all the cars are self-driving. You don't need that many. He's like, crime will actually go down because of this. Like some mix of stores will just hire robots to like walk around and like punch people in the head if they're stealing. It's like no liability on humans. Plus, if you are a serial offender, like the cops can just like rent a robot to like follow you around, wherever you are and like pinpoint your location and like track it, whatever. So it's like if you just imagine this like very sci-fi-esque world, I don't think we'll ever get there, but Elon does, so who knows? He's probably more right often than I am, but it's like a very weird world where it's like, oh, if anybody does anything wrong, you just like stick a robot on their ass and have it follow them.
Yeah. I mean, I can totally see it. Okay. So it's a super premium. So right now it's just the billionaires. Deters threats by creating a proactive. Still, I just wanted to say pepper spray or something. Yeah. It combines 3D AI driven surveillance, thermal LiDAR sensors. What if it just dumps like clam chowder on them?
Boiling hot clam chowder, like straight out of like. Actually, this would be amazing. Like the Home Alone, like
it drops an Anvil,
cans of paint.
It should drop an anvil or a master piano. It's like a Mark Rober sketch where, you know, he like trolls
Yep.
shoplifters.
The glitter
Okay.
bomb.
Searchlights and audio speakers to intercept intruders. Dang. This is cool. Wow. Home security. Yeah. And here I am just with a stupid little Ring camera that can't even dump hot clam chowder on someone.
You could fix it up so that that's an option. What if you went to the Ring site and it was like, you know, Ring cam, and then it's like clam chowder cam, and you're like, what is this? Why is this one $9,000 and this one's 90? The hell?
I want to get Sauron for this multi-billion-dollar security system for like a studio apartment and just have 8 drones flying around.
100%.
No one tries to get in ever.
The ultimate like security theater happening.
It's a $1,400 studio.
Have you ever been to Barcelona?
I have.
Did you see the Basilica Sagrada Familia, the big Basilica church there?
Of course. Yeah, you have to.
This was maybe one of my favorite stories to come out of the last week or so. Did you see this on Shiel's timeline? So Gaudi had actually designed a skyscraper for New York in 1908. At the time, it was going to be the largest building in the world. It was never built because of a combination of the budget, 8-year timeline, and his focus at the time in Barcelona. There's a bunch of information on this. It got like fully designed, fully pitched. I don't know exactly how it got turned down, but look at this like AI generated video of this thing existing. How sick would that be? Just like smack dab in the middle of Manhattan.
It'd be cool, but it would just be a Salesforce office.
Right.
Like there would just be like it would just be a Salesforce logo at the top. And then there would be $8 coffees. That's cool. Modern we need more architects. I wonder if people are still becoming like modern architects.
We should actually mock up the want to be Gaudi designed building in New York with different tech logos. Like, oh, it's a Spirit Halloween. It's a Microsoft Copilot office.
Did you see? Okay, you definitely probably didn't see this. But speaking of Barcelona, how do you get to Barcelona from San Francisco? Usually.
I like to run for the Dick's Sporting Good points. I like to run to New York first and then get on a plane.
See, this exactly.
Oh, the best of both worlds.
This guy.
No way. He actually did it?
Ran a 5K on the airplane. The runners are taking it too far. Imagine being on this plane and having explosive diarrhea.
I like the little, whatever it is, like Strava scribble that just like him.
That's 5.5 kilometers. Yeah, it was
wow.
Ridiculous.
Talked about both AI killing jobs. We've talked about OpenClaw. The best use case of both of these things. I have OpenClaw sending lowball offers on Zillow all day just to make boomers start panicking. Instructions: contact Zillow listings in the Tampa, Florida area for houses that have been on the market for longer than 30 days. Average offer 70% below asking. Positive response is 0.
One response was violent, but I've reported it to the police department. Are these police departments just inundated with Claude bots like reporting shit?
I mean, between the flock safety alerts of random stolen cars driving around, you know, it's actually like it's good. We're keeping the police on their toes, right? Like mostly what you're doing, like I have some friends that have been firefighters, and it's like if you're a firefighter, you kind of just sit around and wait for something to get set on fire so you have
Right.
to go put out. It's a lot. I mean, there's times where he's like, you literally sit at the firehouse for 3 days doing nothing, like 3 working days, not a single fire. Some days you'll have 3 fires in one day, or you have to go support like EMTs, EMS, whatever. Cops, it's like they were always kind of busy before, but there were these times where it's like you're just sitting in your cruiser, you know, on your phone, eating lunch. Now your phone is getting blown up with, you know, dispatch calling in violent offenders who are harassing teenagers for using Claudbot or OpenClaw. And then, you know, your flock safety alerts are going off. You have people on Nextdoor reporting stolen things from their Ring cameras. It's a busy job.
So we talked about Strava and these other, you know, health tracking apps are the new they're just the new thing. And there's a few apps that stand out. When you think about like health tracking apps, specifically like maybe diet, do any come to mind?
There's that one, MyFitnessPal.
Exactly. So guess, first of all, MyFitnessPal has, every time I see the logo, I get pissed off. But guess how much revenue MyFitnessPal does.
Wow. Oh man, I'm gonna be off. Why do they only have 29 ratings? This is like it's like a new app update, so their ratings reset every time.
Let's see. Okay, so there I only see the revenue from 2023, so it's going to be a little off.
Man, this is so hard to say because I've seen MyFitnessPal like ads, and I've heard about them in the wild, but I don't think I know of anybody that actually uses them. I'm gonna say they have like 100 million in revenue.
In 2023, $310 million in revenue.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And then I asked it about 2025, and all it says it made 3.2 million in the final week of December 2025, which is unreal. Okay. The reason I bring this up is because I don't know if you've seen Cal AI, but it completely blew up in like 2 years. They said in just 18 months, they broke $50 million in ARR in less than 2 years. Okay, and Cal AI was, you just take a picture of your food, and then it'll tell you how many calories it is. And today, Cal AI was acquired by MyFitnessPal. Unreal. It doesn't disclose how much the deal was for, but I imagine that it was a lot. Here's the MyFitnessPal CEO, Mike Fisher. So you've never used one of these calorie tracking apps?
Nope. Sometimes I get a little fat. Sometimes I get a little bit skinny. Just, you know, it ebbs and flows with what I'm feeling that month.
Track your calories.
I'm vibe-based calorie tracker.
Yeah, I'm vibe eating.
How accurate? Have you used one of these?
No, I'm the same way. Honestly, the less I know, the better. Okay, I don't want to think about this shit. I just want to eat whatever I want. I don't need to know.
I like that. I think that it's similar to salaries now. I think salaries under a certain amount have to be disclosed, at least in certain states, right? So I think if you're hiring in California for a role, you have to say, okay, this role pays between, you know, the intent of the law is like 40 to 45,000. It's like some like reasonable salary range, $40,000 to $45,000 a year. I think with calories, all the at least chain restaurants have to have calories now on the menu. And I went to McDonald's for the first time in a long time to get our kids Happy Meals yesterday. And I was in the drive-thru.
Sure.
Yeah, first time in a long. Hey, first time all month. First time in the month of March. No, I'm more of a Taco Bell man. And oh yeah, I would go like Taco Bell or Wendy's 100 times over McDonald's if I'm going out by myself, right? We've talked about the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwiches on the show. Wendy's, big sponsor of Raised and Confused. Right. So restaurants with more than 20 locations have to disclose calorie counts. Like the calorie counts on the McDonald's drive-through menu, it was like snack wrap, 650 to 1200 calories is like a range. That's not helpful.
Right.
That's a big difference.
Dude, I remember seeing, let's see, I'm trying to find the McDonald's.
Oh yeah, we need to cover this since we're.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let me pull this up. I wonder how many McDonald's CEOs, how many have there been since that boy Ray Kroc?
Did you ever see that movie, The Founder, about him?
No, but I listened to the Founders David Senra episode featuring Ray Kroc, and it is an epic story.
It's a great story. There's
also a Mark Knopfler song called Boom Like That about Ray Kroc. Banger Mark Knopfler, lead singer of the Dire Straits. McDonald's CEO eats a $12 burger on camera. Okay, so this is the new special big arch.
Yep.
Special bun, new sauce, new quarter-pound patties, 1,000 calories. Okay. This guy is just going insane.
Is the big arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious big arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing. This
is the best part.
Know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's
Where is the bite?
Right. You bet like the bottom of the bun.
That's a big bite for a big arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness, but those crispy onions as well gives a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but big arch, try it when you can get it.
And he immediately threw it right in the trash and washed his mouth out.
100%. Like the thing with marketing, right, is there's always a choice. Do we release this video or do we not? The fact that somebody had this idea, sure, it's a good idea. Like if the guy was super charismatic, if he's like, oh my God, this is he's on his yacht. And he's just like, have you ever seen these videos of like Jimmy John's CEO, like on his yacht, just talking about the Jimmy John's menu? I need to find that as I'm going on my mini rant because it's amazing. This guy has this fat yacht and he's just like, oh, the number 5 sandwich is like the greatest sandwich we've ever made. It's still my favorite. If you're like that dude and he's got like gold rings on and stuff, amazing for the brand. This dude, the fact that he's like, he keeps calling it like the product. Oh, this product is scrumptious. It's like the least appetizing thing of all time. Yeah, exactly. There's no guys in this guy's crew.
Jimmy John's CEO. Is he the CEO or is he
it's the founder.
What was your business?
Jimmy John's sandwiches.
So selling sandwiches made you a billionaire.
He's not on the yacht here.
Did you make with Jimmy John's?
The company was valued at about $3.5 billion when we sold.
When you first started this business, did you know that it was going to turn into the multi-billion-dollar empire that it did?
No, all I wanted was enough money for weed and beer. You know, I had no idea.
Were you a good student in school?
No, second to last in my class. I graduated. It was the worst.
But you didn't let that define you.
No.
Why not?
I'm the only billionaire from my class. I'm just fine, right?
I want to go back to 2003 one more time to discuss this real quick. You had, I think, 200 locations.
70 failing.
70 failing.
Yeah.
What was the one thing you implemented to those stores to ensure that they would become profitable?
I changed something. And what I changed is I quit selling them. And I told people, I said, look, if you're going to go in the sandwich business, this is 24/7, 365. If you're in the cattle business, cattle need to get fed on Sunday. They need to get fed on Christmas Day. I start telling people the truth about the business. So if you're going to do this, you better be ready to be a grinder.
So there's no work-life balance in order to become a billionaire.
Buddy, there is work-life balance is the biggest line of bullshit that has ever been created. created. There's no such thing as work-life balance. When you're going to squeeze lemonade out of horse shit, you got to squeeze really, really hard, okay? To create something from nothing, there is no such thing.
One of the things that you did differently from everybody else that you became known for was the freaky fast delivery.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy's a legend.
So good. Yeah, there's like let me find this. He let let me see if I can find this. Yeah, he did this tour where he occasionally does these interviews or these tours like from his yacht. And his yacht has its own Wikipedia page, by the way, which is how you know it's great. But like Barstool did a whole thing of like touring his yacht, and he's just like ranting about how great his sandwiches are. And it's like, this guy, charisma, you know? And his yacht is called Rocket. Did you see this?
Jimmy John's, I'd give
Super yacht, 200-foot super yacht called Rocket. That yeah. I don't know.
I'm still a little skeptical of yachts, maybe because I don't have nearly enough money, but I don't know.
What's the skepticism?
Yachts is so you go, like, do you just take it from place to place, or you stay on it for a little while? And I don't know. I don't really get how it works. You take it across the world?
Do you want to understand like buoyancy, like how buoyancy works?
Yeah, like how does that thing stay afloat?
Okay, so that's Titanic.
I just don't know if like then you have a crew on there and everyone's constantly catering to you and watching you, and maybe you get used to it. I kind of want a shitty boat and I want to drive it. Like if it's a nice boat, I want to whip that thing, you know?
Yeah. We gotta dive into this. I literally had a dream about how this is going to be such a great section of the episode today, and I forgot to bookmark it, so I'm glad that we're on yachts. All right, so the thing about yachts, I agree. I think for the price, well, the thing, we've talked about this before. If you have, there are whatever now 600 800 billionaires, like people with like $1 billion, right? If you actually wanted to spend that, and importantly, there's like a lot of these people where actually their net worth is way higher and it's not being correctly reported. If you go buy the most expensive house in Alaska, it's $9 million, right? And then you add on, you need your primary residence on Indian Creek or whatever. So that's like 100 million. So you've only spent like 110 million. And then if you start buying lots of other stuff, the problem is most things when you're trying to spend billions of dollars, it doesn't add up fast enough. Right? So it's like you could pick anything that you're interested in, right? You're like a fitness fanatic. So you buy like every fitness thing. You build a home gym, the sickest home gym ever. It's $500,000 maybe. Then you're buying like Whoop subscriptions. You're buying like the premium Strava shit. Now you're like fully decked out. And you've spent under $1 million. Right. Now you're like, all right, I also like cars. So I'm going to buy every crazy car, the most expensive cars that I'm going to buy. I'm buying, $900,000 McLarens and $600,000 Ferraris. It takes a lot of those cars to add up to like 10 million.
Yeah.
So then the remaining things that people have are like other homes. You can just keep buying $100 million homes, bullshit overinflated art, where it's like, oh, throw like $100 million Matisse on the wall of one of my yachts. Jets can add up pretty quickly if you're trying to spend big. You have like an $88 million Gulfstream. Great. Throw that in the mix. And then yachts. Like you have like a $50 million yacht, $100 million yacht. I think Zuck has a $350 million yacht. So this is insane. There was this, I'm not going to find the clip. The clip doesn't actually matter all that much. But so Zuck has this yacht called Launchpad. We'll pull up a picture of it. This is it docked somewhere randomly. I will say, to your point, the thing that I don't get about yachts, I own jet skis, right? I was going to say I don't own any boats, but that's not true. We have jet skis, which count. So this is what the boat looks like. I agree. Like I look at this and I go, I mean, it's hard to get a sense of the scale. It's obviously massive in person, but it's like for 300 million, I don't know. You'd expect a little bit more. But the best part of this is that not the $300 million yacht. It is that he has a, let's see, a support vessel, which is a $100 million boat that follows the $300 million boat around, and it like carries all of the toys for the boat. So this boat is like $110 million, and it holds a helicopter in the middle of it. It holds like giant like inflatables that they can like blow up on the water. It holds the tenders. And actually, I won't bring up the video because it's kind of annoying to like try to talk over somebody else. But the guy was like showing this. I don't know if it shows the boat a little bit more, but like the middle of this like opens up and there's like a helicopter. Like, okay, yacht world. There's like a helicopter stored like in the middle of this boat, and like the blades like fold open and it like gets like craned up to the helicopter pad. And then it has like 4 tenders to get like to and from the shore. And the guy that was doing this video was like, I mean, so this is the $300 million yacht in the background. This thing's $100 million. And then he's like, well, the tenders actually aren't expensive. Like you can just buy one. And I was like, oh, that's surprising. Like I'm sure he's using Costco rafts to get like to and from the shore. And he's like, yeah, each of these 4 tenders is only like 1.2 million.
Oh my God. Dude.
So I mean, this is like we're looking at like $500 million worth of stuff here.
See, I'd much rather go on a yacht like once a year and have it be the most insane thing ever. Once your baseline is yacht, like when you were talking about that, like, oh, tenders and inflatables and stuff, like, dude, I do that with my friends on like kayaks or like just on a random lake in a public park, like drinking warm beer on an inflatable, and like that's like peak life. And I feel like the more money you get, the more the baseline is. And now if these guys went out on like a shitty boat and drank warm beer, it'd be like the worst day of their lives.
I totally agree. And also like, I'm like, yeah, this all makes sense. In the video, they were saying one of the things that the reason that the support yacht has like 4 tenders is because like they'll pull in this yacht when he's like in the Mediterranean, because Zuck likes to do all the like what is it, like the foil board stuff, and then like the hydrofoil stuff and surfing and scuba diving. Completely makes sense if you think about it. But the support yacht has a crew of like 30 people. Some of those people are basically like location scouts. So if Zuck takes like a week off of meta, he doesn't want to be like snorkeling in like the world's worst reef. So these guys will go like a day in advance. And like, all right, we already know we're in the Mediterranean. Like all the snorkeling is going to be good, but we're going to all go like snorkeling and find like the best spot for like Zuck to snorkel. So to your point, it's like if you ever had to do anything on your own in life, you're just completely cooked because you have like 20 people that are like pre-snorkeling for you. Yeah. And just like setting you up with like the most amazing view of all time. It's ridiculous.
It'd be fun to work on Zuck's boat, especially if you squat up with the other people working on there. You just get to yacht around and snorkel, but then it'd be so nerve-wracking once Zuck gets in the water with his snorkel mask on. You're like, please, bro, please. I would start planning fish. Like I would make sure he has a good time.
Totally.
Okay, so I'm sure you saw this. This is a callback to the McDonald CEO pretending like he took a bite of his new burger. This was insane. When the Camel's executive said, did you see this?
No.
From our perspective, we're looking at healthy brands, avocado-based oils, healthy. If you look at our pantry, we have for poor people, right? We have that's for poor people. Who buys our? I don't buy Camel's products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what's in it.
So, this Campbell's executive says the Campbell's is for poor people, and that he doesn't eat Campbell's because now he sees what's in it. I mean, Campbell's is affordable, but I just think it's funny that all the people make Campbell's are not eating Campbell's. You can tell that McDonald's CEO taking a bite of his burger never eats McDonald's. All these executives. Peter Thiel said his kids get 1.5 hours of screen time per week. All the people, whoever is making the stuff is probably not using it.
Totally. I'm actually, so what is it? So a Michigan lawsuit claims executive was secretly recorded by a former employee. I honestly, I'm surprised this stuff doesn't happen way more often.
I don't want
Right.
to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. Do you?
Martin has a point. I'm just gonna go out,
I mean, I think
somebody's
it's funny
gotta
that
say it like it is.
I think it's funny that he's in IT. Like, it's not like
Right.
he's like the head chef or
Right,
something.
right,
Like,
right.
he's like
He's just a-
maintaining. He's like fixing the printer.
Exactly.
He
He's
was
not
a
even
former.
personally doing it. He's just got a team of people that do it.
What do you do as a cybersecurity analyst at Campbell's Soup?
So good.
People are trying to hack in to get the recipe. That's insane. And so here's what I'm talking about. Same thing. Campbell's execs don't eat soup. Facebook investor and billionaire limits his young children's screen time to 1.5 hours per week. That is unreal. 90 minutes per week. That's what, 15 minutes per day, a little less.
Yeah. So you're like, what? I mean, what does this even mean? Young children. I'm trying to think how this would work. Like they get to watch like a 5-minute. His kids are probably watching 10 30-second raised and confused clips in the morning and then 20 at night.
I wonder, you could do no screen time on weekends and then they get like 15 minutes per night. How would you spend? You gotta be conscious of how you're spending your 15 minutes of screen time, whether it's reels or making your way through a series slowly.
I mean, isn't like, I don't know how you feel. It's like, even if you're not a parent, if you are alive, you have a parent or parents or whatever. So it's like the thing that I always remember gets talked about all the time. You go to college or whatever, the people who are the most sheltered, whether it's like, oh, religiously, or they had no interesting high school experiences, like those people are always like almost like, high likelihood of going off the deep end in college, because it's like life has not like prepared you that
Right.
you are actually able to make like infinite choices on your own without any supervision. So like, of all the people in college that made like really terrible decisions, it wasn't like universally that they were like really sheltered kids or really rich kids or whatever, but it's like that added to it for sure. If you were like normal and you had like gone to parties in high school and you had like dated and you had like done things, and like you're going to go to college and it's kind of more of the same and you have more independence for sure and you need to manage that. I think it's the same as screen time. It's like, great. So as a kid, you're like, you have like the best tutors and they come to you and you only can watch iPad or, shows or whatever for an hour a week. And then what happens when like you're 18? All of your peers who are like now like digitally native, they know how to do everything. They're like coding at age 7 or whatever. And they're like, they're like building their own like AI songs and movies. And like, you're just getting into that when you're 18. Unrealistic.
Right.
And B, it's like, it's not like screens. I totally agree. We need to diminish screen time for adults. You're doing this, you should re-mention what you've done with your phone because it's hilarious. But like, it's not like the age of jobs are coming where it's just like zero screen time. Even if you're a cop, you're like managing flock. You're like texting with the department, like you're doing things. If you're a personal trainer, like you're like using different apps for your clients. If you are in roofing or construction, like you're using AI stuff to like quote jobs. And like, it just like, even if you argue that all these like engineering jobs are going to go down by 90%, which they probably are, if you're in sales, marketing, like whatever the future jobs look like when his kids hit that age, they're going to be like totally unprepared compared to most people.
That's a good point. And yeah, maybe they just go to college and start just binging Netflix all day. Finally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, if you imagine like, because how long has YouTube been around? YouTube was founded in 2005. So we're 21 years old, which is crazy. Is that right? It's crazy that you could come across a video it's over 21 years old because it was February of 2005. Imagine that you are turning like 18 today. You've heard about all these people like using TikTok and watching you, but like you've never seen any of this content. You've heard about Game of Thrones or like Scrubs or like Kill Bill or just like you've heard all, but like you've never been able to watch anything, movies,
Right.
documentaries, content. You're going to go insane in college. You're going to have 21 years worth of like YouTube videos to watch.
The worst part would be you can't understand any of the references because so
Right.
many people are like, "Oh, have you seen this? Have you heard this? Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see?" And that's about all we do. Did you see this? So
yeah, but break it down. This is so funny.
So there's been some controversy. So when you look at this, the first thing that everyone thinks obviously is, damn, that's cool. Calendly rebranded to cal.com. That's cool.
Yeah.
And they didn't. Cal.com is a competitor to Calendly. And so I don't know if it's, 200 IQ or 10 IQ, Chris.
I don't know the founder, but I knew that there was a separate company called cal.com. And I glanced at this and thought,
Acquired.
obviously they were acquired a while ago and that Calendly like migrated the domain over. Like they basically, whether it was for revenue or the team or the domain. I mean, this domain, whatever cal.com bought it for is probably worth millions now. So I was like, oh, that actually makes sense. You've seen a few companies do this. I mean, the most extreme example is like Elon, who just owned X.com, like force-fed Twitter into it, and now the whole thing. So it's like you see these companies where like they either buy a domain or they get a domain as part of a purchase. My friend Jesse Tinsley, who listens to this, owns a bunch of companies. Like his original company was jobmobs.com, which is not a great name, and he kind of knew it. He bought a company called Recruiter where they owned the domain recruiter.com, and then the whole company became recruiter.com.
Wow.
Part of that. So like that's a good example. So I thought something like this happened where it's like, oh, I must have missed that Calendly acquired Cal, and now Calendly is like dropping the, especially because of this reference, right? Oh, like drop the Endly, it's cleaner that way. It even says it in the photo. Not great branding.
Is cal.com open source?
I think it is, yeah.
Okay. For people who are in Gen Z and again have low IQ, what does open source mean? Like, can I just make a cal.com competitor in 5 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, it's sort of I mean, this is a whole we should do mini clip. These clips would actually rip on YouTube, like explaining open source. But yeah, it's like I mean, first of all, you can think of it as sort of like a Wikipedia-esque thing for code. So you have people that want, like for certain applications, like a huge part of like X.com, i.e. Twitter's code is open source. And Elon's thing of this is like one of the benefits of being open source is like that there is just like there's a lot of transparency and visibility by the users as to like how your information's being used, and like that gets really complicated through like privacy policies in terms of service. But if you want to super nerd out on this, I mean, I think Twitter when I was there had like 3 million lines of code, like a huge number of which were like not actually in use and were just like legacy. But there's this community aspect of like, there's all these like terminally online unemployed people that are like going through like thousands of lines of code and be like, oh, this is how the algorithm works. And then they can come back on and say like, here's what the current algorithm is prioritizing in terms of like videos versus images. And like those things can be helpful to the community at large. I don't really understand why. I mean, I understand why, like, there's basically an open source version of everything, but I'm not exactly sure if it's just like scheduling why you would want like transparency or like people to be able to like modify or contribute to this. I'm not sure.
You're in charge of your own data workflow.
Yes, that
Calendly
makes
and other
sense.
scheduling tools are awesome. It made our lives easier. Very limited in terms of control and customization. So you can use this open source white labeled API to make your calendar look however you want. But Chris, you and I talked about this, and I think recently you canceled your scheduling application. Is this true?
I did.
Okay, why is that?
You don't want, I mean, I had a scheduling tool, Calendly, as many people do. I mean, I still have the free version, but I've stopped sending it out. And I'm fully back into the like, it's some mix of let's just find a time or call me between this window.
Yeah. The call thing is great. You say, hey, call me after 2. Call me between 2 and 4.
Yep.
And then I can pick up the phone. I'm going to put my AirPods on. I'm going to go for a walk. We can have a human conversation. I don't need to break my neck staring at this laptop the whole time.
Yep.
The worst feeling is when you wake up and someone grab time on your calendar and it's at like the worst possible time, like between like, you know, if you have a meeting at 1 and 3 and then someone books at like 2 and now it's like, oh my God, just now I can't get any work done.
Exactly. It is there's the meme, which I think is actually true. Like a 2 p.m. meeting, if you have nothing else going on, will literally ruin your entire day.
100%.
Because you're sitting around in the morning going, oh, I could fucking go for a drive. I could be like, you know, I could just like do nothing at work today, especially if you work for yourself. I could just like take a day off. I could go golfing. I could go for a hike. But it's like, no, I have this 2 p.m. meeting. By the way, I think that there's like an evil factor within the corporate world where those super inconvenient meeting times get canceled or rescheduled last second or no-showed more than anything else. Like if you have a bunch of meetings where you're like, oh, this is highly convenient, those are going to stay. But what happens is you have a random lingering like 2 to 3 p.m. meeting on your calendar. So your whole morning's cooked. You're kind of like at lunch, you're kind of looking up being like, oh, is it 2 yet? Like, can I even go out and eat? And then you're like rushing back to like make sure that you can make it. You sit down at like 1:15. You have to kill another 45 minutes. And then at like 1:55, the person's like, oh, hey, running over. Hey, I forgot that we had this. Can we push this to next week? How does Friday at 7 p.m. look for you? You're like, bro.
Yeah, one meeting can ruin your day. It's just it's a gray cloud that looms over you all day. One thing is too, if you're gonna, you know, you can go work at a cafe, but then it's like, oh, well, now I gotta be back before I can't lock in at this cafe, or else I'm gonna be that guy who's talking loudly. Here's one thing. Okay, so if you don't want to work at a cafe, you don't want to have meetings, everyone knows immediately which office this is and immediately what it smells like. So which office is this?
I think this is like engagement bait because there's a ton. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure Anthropic is No Shoes. I'm 99% sure that's actually Notion's office. But does he say?
Apparently, it's Cursor.
Cursor? Okay.
Yeah. Someone said, someone said 100% Cursor. Cursor. Could be any house in Canada. And now let's see what drip these people got on. Okay.
Very little drip, actually.
Got some running shoes, blunt
Negative
stones.
drip.
Those are fire. Some New Balances, slippers, slides.
Some Nike Dunks in the lower corner there.
Definitely marketing guy.
Yep.
New Balances. And let's see, look how many untied laces there are. No one ties laces anymore. Okay, so let's go. Tied. Okay. Oh, one pair of untied laces. Okay, slip on. See, all of these are tied. They stay tied. Tied. Everything's tied. See, prime examples right here, here, and here.
Yep.
Nobody ties laces anymore. So what is up with shoelace technology?
Mm. Do you remember those? Remember like the curly, stretchy laces that would go in your shoes as like a kid? Did you ever have these? Oh man, this is what's up with shoelace technology. Curly, stretchy. I had these for a second. I also, I was I was not the cool kid at school, but dude, this is what's up. I think I had these in like 3rd grade. Absolutely ripped them.
Bruh, those
Look at these
are
things.
they're
They're like these like curly coil things. You can still buy them. By the way, okay,
dude, those things are beat. Why is there so much at the end?
This is like, but what's crazy? These were. I'm trying to think of the year. I mean, these must have been like 70% of kids. I don't think any of the cool kids, to be clear, but I think like 70% of the nerds had these on their shoes in like 97.
Really?
So, yeah, this was big with like young kids when I was coming up. I mean, this is insane. I've never seen anybody do this, but yeah, this, and then, yeah, there were like all these different versions. Like it was crazy. So these are going to come back, unfortunately.
Okay. I had something similar that looked cooler. Have you ever heard of these?
No.
I legitimately had these. So you had to cut your laces and then you like weave them in here, and there was a tutorial on how you do it. So it's magnetic shoe closers rather than, I guess that's the founder. So you just slide them on and then you close the magnets. So in theory, they're pretty cool. They turned out to be absolutely terrible. And you can already tell that this is in San Francisco. Zubits magnetic shoe closers.
I've never seen these.
Zubits. So this is what I was repping. Let's see how many Amazon reviews they have.
Dude, they have 1 Google review.
Okay, 50 bought in the past month, but 3,700 reviews. Never tie laces again. And as always, oh no, you need an account.
By the way, yo, check it out. This is actually good. So 50 of the Zubits, and keep in mind, this is I mean, I think there's probably ones that are way bigger brands. This is how you know it's on the come up. 200 plus bought in the last month. And this is a 12 pack.
12 pairs of elastic. 12 pairs for $13.
It's pretty great.
That's ridiculous. Also 4.3 reviews, but it seems like shoelaces aren't going anywhere. Everyone, you just slide. The cursor office. Pioneers of the no shoe office. Which, man, I don't know.
Well,
I don't want to get chunks in my socks.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever? I don't even know. We're gonna get this video can't be monetized if I play this, but that's okay. We're not monetized on YouTube yet. Have you seen the show Jury Duty?
Of course.
Yeah. Did you see that season 2 is coming out this month?
I did.
I'm so excited for this. Like the premise, I was trying to explain. How would you explain the premise of Jury Duty to somebody who's like never seen the show?
I would just say everyone is in on it except for one guy, and it's literally jury duty.
Yep. So this poor guy, they've hired all these actors to now work at this company, and he has to plan the all hands or the offsite. This is the best part, I think.
Kill me! And then not to mention the Rockin' Grandma's Talent Contest. ASMR.
I work remote, but Doug's last retreat before he dies.
No, he's not sick. He's retiring.
Not because he's dying? No. Well, that's good.
Someone has filed an anonymous complaint with HR. I anonymously made the complaint. It's not anonymous anymore.
Okay.
I have come to the decision to explore.
Where's the guy when he's like trying to do the Jamaican accent? Oh yeah, this guy.
I've only been
His
back
son.
for 6 months. I lived in Jamaica for 4 years.
In Jamaica, we said.
Don't do that.
We're about to go on our big retreat.
Yep.
And that's
Wait, so
He
this
said, hey.
how is it staged if it's supposed to be employees? That one of them's not in on it?
Yeah. Yeah. So they hired this dude, this guy in the shot right now. This is the guy who's not in on the joke. And he is working at Rockin' Grandma's, which is it's a hot sauce company. So all the employees are paid actors except for this one dude who's starting, and his job at the company is he's like a travel planner or something. So he's like helping them plan their corporate retreat.
I see.
be
That's
great.
insane.
Yeah,
Well, if you need some other entertainment,
I do.
the new season of Survivor started. Greatest show of all time. But also, this is something I talk about literally every stream because there are unlimited of these games. There's the VR hamburger flipping. There's VR TSA. Now there's VR low budget repairs where you play a handyman trying to get the job done.
I like that he's ripping a brewski.
Yeah. And you try to cut costs wherever you can so you can throw stuff out the window. It's just awesome how many of these games there are of like actual people's jobs now.
Yeah.
And
What would
unemployed
be
people.
so I mean, like some of these jobs would be fun to test in, like there's certain jobs where it's like 911 operator. Like you just don't want to screw that job up, right? Or flight controller.
Right.
Like, that would be fun, like trying to get planes to land, but then if you're wrong, it's like, we're good.
Right. Right.
They
911
crashed.
An AI 911 operator would be awesome. You just sit on your phone at the Flock Safety app.
A AI repo guy just repossessing the cars that belong to people that have been fully replaced by AI.
What do you do to prevent just sitting down all day? Because that can't be good for your body. I mean, there's standing desks, obviously. There's walking treadmills. Maybe you just.
I got a bike. I try to get on the bike anytime. Like not a bullshit Peloton indoors thing, like an actual mountain bike. And we're on a trail right here. So I try to do that, but it's hard. It's hard.
So you just take breaks.
Yeah.
This guy. I mean, I don't think there's no way that this is real. Like if you can pedal for tokens on Codex. Let's see here. Pedal for tokens. No. But anyways, I just saw this. I'm like, man.
Have you seen the show Black Mirror?
Of course.
Do you remember in the first season? I think it's the first season. There is it is the second episode of the first season. There is an episode called 15 Million Merits, which is about how you live in a room surrounded by screens that wake him up and serve as a video game console that features regular advertisements. And he has to ride a stationary bike to generate enough electricity in exchange for merits, which he uses to pay for his daily cost of living. And this thing was like, I think it must have been like modeled off of the episode because it was like so accurate. But it's like all these people that just sit in a room in front of a screen, and like in order to keep your screen time up, you have to like keep pedaling to generate enough electricity.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The work setups are just insane. I just think about the future and how there's no way. Like I think screen time will go down somehow. No one wants to sit on the screen at all, but these setups are wild.
All right.
I mean,
so if I'm on like a work bike though, okay, I'm gonna get in my like biking position. I'm just like doing this like on a Zoom call. And then like occasionally the mic's just like hitting me in the face because I like lean forward too much. This is not a good vibe.
Right.
Right.
Oz Perlman, this like mentalist, and he's a cool guy. He just went on Joe Rogan and he was talking, and he says he's like also like an ultra marathon, but he was like, yeah, I run like 20 miles every day, and that's when I take all my meetings. And I just think that is awesome. I mean, being out of breath, but it makes these like, dude, I think so much better when I'm running, and like it's such a great time to take meetings so that I want to be sitting down. But you already have to be rich or famous to successfully pull that off. Because if you're an entry level auditor at KPMG and you're on the Zoom call running, you're going to get automated away in about 1 minute.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy, the Oz Perlman guy is insane.
Yeah.
That's like one of the things I think that now, like largely because I've never seen full episodes, but I've seen a bunch of the clips of like the Penn and Teller, like, can you fool me with magic? I've seen enough of those where enough magic stuff has been explained where I'm like, all right, all of this is, like you might see the trick a couple times, but then the way that they break it down, it's like, oh, this is, I can understand how they do this. Like, yes, how he guesses Joe Rogan's ATM PIN code. Like, I don't even know where to start with that. Like, I can think is like all these people are just like in on the bit or something, but
no,
they can't be.
No, I mean, he explains a little bit of it. Okay, I wish I could fast forward here. The best part is how Joe Rogan is like not happy. Like he's not like, oh shit. He's like, dude, like he's
angry,
gets pissed off. But he explains it in just like these tricks when he says, okay, I want you to like think about the third number, and then he like looks at people's eyes and like how long they wait. It's
right.
I don't know. It's unreal.
Yeah, I've seen some of that. He did one like at Tom Brady's house with Tom Brady and Gronk, and he was like, something about like a childhood friend, and it's like, all right, if it's a childhood friend like walked into the room, and it just seems so unbelievable. Where it's like, all right, imagine that like a childhood friend walks in through the door, and then so he's Gronk's like guessing all this stuff, and then he ends up, of course, like getting it right, and he's sort of like his hint, I think, was a bullshit hint where he's like, oh well, it's like, Gronk, you're a tall guy. So I look like when you're looking at the door, imagining your friend walking in, I look like, do you look toward the top of the door? In which case it would be like another tall guy, or do you like look like in the middle and like maybe it's like a shorter woman? And then, but I'm like, that's bullshit, because if you're imagining your childhood friend who you haven't seen in a while, like it didn't really add up. Right. It's like if you're imagining a 7-year-old, then the 7-year-old, are you imagining that 7-year-old as an adult? No. This sponsored by numeral.com, hiredoverseas.com, usenapa.com, not sponsored by ozperlman.com.
Sorry, Oz. Check this out. Logan Paul doesn't save money or hold any stocks. The one time Logan Paul has ever been based, he has $30 to $40 million of liquid cash. And he spends money. He doesn't have any stocks. He has a financial advisor who I really wonder what that guy does. He's got the coolest job ever. He's considered more of a public accountant.
This is how people go broke.
Yeah, this is insane. Let's see how's Prime doing. Did you ever drink Prime?
No, I mean, I've seen it. I think it's one of those things where the good news for Prime, I think, is that I've seen it in Costco.
Really?
Yeah, and I think that's actually, it's kind of like if you see a designer brand that was like a hot designer brand and it's in like Target, that brand is cooked. That's like actually a bad thing. Like you don't want mass distribution. I think Costco is kind of the, like because Costco carries so few products, if you're a beverage company and you hit Costco, that's like got to be the holy grail.
Right.
Right. Like you're literally alongside like Dasani water and Coca-Cola and like Sunny D as like the drink choices. And there's like one aisle of drinks. So if you're one of the drinks, enough people are going to go buy it and be like, oh, I'm going to try this. And then they keep purchasing it.
Well, someone said it well, where it's like Costco is like your personal, like Costco is the Mark Zuckerberg scuba snorkeling guide of consumer goods shopping. Like if it's in Costco, you know it's going to be good. So I don't even care about the brand. Like when I'm in the shirt section, I'm like, I don't even care because Costco's got me. I know they do. But so you sold various types of beverages for a while from I think 2012 to 2016 before things went under. But I want you to tell me about that experience when you were selling different types of drinks and beverages.
We were in 2012. I had the idea to do an energy drink company, and the problem is that we were using actual cocaine in the beverages, circa Coca-Cola back in the 1800s. And so the problem was when you're doing that, it becomes really expensive to produce all of these different beverages. So the Federal Trade Commission and the SEC came down on me pretty hard, and I went to jail for 2.5 years in the middle, got out, good lawyer. But then in 2016, I came back with a different drink company that was makeyourown.drink.com. And what it was just an empty bottle. Sold these for $5 each, and you would have to add your own liquid to the bottle. Right. We peaked around $2.5 billion in sales in 2019. And then I was once again arrested on fraud charges. But in the middle of all of that, I don't think we could have scaled that company as fast as we did without the help of HireOverseas.com. Right. HireOverseas.com, they were just so helpful with everything from the marketing campaigns of, creating your own drink.com, bring your own drink.com, fill your own drink.com. We had like 1 million of these subdomains that we were marketing, billboards they were designing. And the talent was so much more affordable than using Upworkers or people on Fiverr. We had about 120 people from HireOverseas.com working on these campaigns. It was actually before the company was even founded, which was amazing. And then one of the ways that we were just repeatedly going viral was from this company, usenapa.com. So we would design all these assets with HireOverseas.com. My administrative assistant was from HireOverseas.com. And then we would launch all these campaigns on LinkedIn, X.com, formerly known as Twitter. And they would just craft these bangers for us of like, are you tired of, having to bring in your own pallets of drinks from the grocery store? What if we could give you a lightweight drink solution that you could just make yourself at home in your sink? Right. And these things would get like 100 million impressions per post. The team is incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
A true story.
That is genius. Now you might be thinking, what are the taxes on different beverages? Listen, you don't even want to get into this. I'll tell you that right now. Luckily for me, whole milk is typically exempt from tax. It's a grocery item. 100% juice is also exempt, only if it has no added sugars. Coffee, it depends. Alcohol has 1 million taxes. Boba. Okay, boba's got a lot of tax for all you boba drinkers, which boba is insane. Boba went from, I had it one time in San Francisco when I was 12. I'm like, ooh, that's like interesting. To during my tenure at University of Washington, by the end of it, it was either like the world is moving toward, you walk down the street and it's either it's a 10 vape shops, 12 boba shops, and like a McDonald's or like a crumble cookie.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. Have you ever speaking of boba, and I think numeral.com does the sales tax compliance for this, I think it's called like Share Tea company. Have you when you were 12, was this kind of what your boba drinking experience was like?
is so good. She said I had to try the babas in it this time, so I had the little. She said to shake it, and I think they're supposed to dissolve. But I'm obsessed. You just poke a hole in it. Oh my god! I choked.
That's ridiculous.
So stupid. Yeah.
One thing that I've seen is there are many very sugary companies coming out of Utah. Okay, so Crumble Cookies is a Utah company.
Yep.
There's other like Crave Cookies. Let's see, what are some of these other ones? Let's see. Founders from Utah. Dessert companies. I think there's like some ice cream ones, and it's interesting like how many of these companies are coming from Utah. Ruby Snap, Crave Cookies, Casper's Ice Cream. And a big piece of it is because they start in Utah, because like a lot of Mormon people don't drink or like do drugs. So like sugar is like the move.
Mm-hmm.
And then so before I get canceled.
Are we seeing like more, Wisconsin has the most bars per capita, and they also just have a ton of DUIs. We've talked about this in the past. Does Utah just have tons of like sugar induced illnesses? Like are there like diabetes like just off the charts, and just people giving them all sorts of like different blood issues because they're not drinking alcohol, but they're just chugging like thousands of milligrams of sugar per day?
Okay. So the reason that 90% of the body cam footage that you see on YouTube is from Wisconsin is because, and this is insane, you can legally monetize Wisconsin police body cam footage on YouTube.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And you need to pay for like the redaction cost, which is like, I did this. I had to pay like $7 when I got my traffic stop because someone has to go through and like redact your ID and like all your personal info. But it's unreal. Like I can pull your traffic stop and then put it on YouTube and make a ton of money off of it.
That's crazy. I always forget, by the way, that like what's crazy is even if you have states ranking the US states that consume the most sugar, Utah's way down here. And it's like you can't out Kentucky. You can't out Mississippi. Like, because Mississippi is drinking liters of vodka and Mountain Dew.
Right.
They're not giving up the Jack Daniels. So Utah is way down here at like 30 something, 32.
Dang.
And actually their sugar sweetened beverage consumption is like way low for their ranking.
My fault, Utah.
Our bad.
I didn't mean it. Crumble Cookies is good.
Yeah. All right, we got anything else, or should we wrap it?
I'm gassed. That was a lot of stuff. Super yachts, shoelaces,
super yachts, super cuts,
defense. Yeah, the buzz cut is coming. Okay, see, I made it past the awkward stage. I need to get fixed up before I go to Albania.
Oh yeah.
Am I gonna blend in Albania?
When do you go to Albania?
April 3rd. Don't worry, guys.
Right around the corner.
We're keeping the stream. I got the Starlink Mini on deck.
What they speak Albanian there, right? They have their own language. Yeah.
They have their own language.
Okay.
But of course, I don't know any of it. I don't even have anything. I just have a one-way ticket to Albania, and I'm bringing the Starlink, and we're going to see how shit goes. If I don't show up to a stream, please tell Flock Safety, report it on the app, have it send a text blast out.
How did you? We can address this as we get closer. But how did you choose to visit Albania?
Claude.
Really? You just put in a bunch of stuff that you wanted to do?
No, I said I want to go to Europe. I want to go around beginning of April. Where should I go? And it was like, it was like, you should start south because it's going to be hot in April. And if you want to stick around, you can slowly move north and like follow the weather. And it was like, there's a couple, you could start in Greece, or you could do Spain, or you could do Albania. And I'm like, oh, wait, tell me about Albania. And it's like, dude, Albania is actually the move. Like, you should go there. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then I bought a ticket. So Claude, this is why IQ is going down though, because it's not like I don't need to make any decisions myself. I'm just like,
right.
Oh, Claude. Okay. Hey, Claude, buy my ticket actually, and then I asked Claude, where should I stay? Should I stay in a hotel or hostel? Okay. I'm just going to book that. So fully autonomous lifestyle.
I like my parents and my wife's parents, they would all have the like the travel books, right? Like you'd have to go to Barnes and Noble. And like, but it was what was funny is it was kind of the same decision. Like it has to be, you have to guide it a little bit. You show up to the bookstore and you've got like everything from, Albania all the way through Zimbabwe, like A to Z listed. And you have to go, am I feeling more of like an Africa safari trip? And then you're kind of honing it in. And then you just randomly pick one of those books, you buy tickets, and then the book is going to tell you like all the stuff. But we kind of used one of these like travel influencer, like travel guides when we were in Estonia. I think Claude's probably the move because it's just it's going to be up to date.
I'm also going in. I'm asking Claude for the big stuff, where to go, where to stay. Beside that, I'm making no plans. And for like when I'm in the city, I'm going to use Reddit. But most of my time is just going to be like walking around and spontaneity, because that's how you actually get the real sauce. Or you like run into someone and they're like, oh, you should go do this. It's like, okay, great. I have nothing on the schedule. I'll go do this. That's why nobody scheduled 2 p.m. meetings with me in Albania. I'm denying it. And actually you can't, because I don't have a Calendly. I'm independent.
We are the last remaining vibe-based workers in the economy. The two of us.
I'm just a vessel for Claude. I'm just
it's amazing the way we both work, that we show up to this thing every week. It's great.
Listen, I'm a grinder.
Yeah.
No days off.
As always, thank you all for being here. We will see you next week. Because we are vibe-based, I'm in Santa Barbara this week, starting tomorrow. Kevin went on a ski trip. We're going to recap the vacations. We're going to do a vacation rundown next Tuesday. We're back to Tuesday, Thursday. Starting on, what is that, March 10th?
That is March 10th.
March 10th. March 10th, we're back. Live stream, 9 a.m. Pacific time. We will see
And the
you
best
then.
part is I'm streaming live from Scottsdale on the 12th. Don't worry. I'm still but this is what vibe-based working is.
This is good. All right.